Ashley Delacomo, November 6, To Persuade. Did you know about 50% of marriages end in divorce? About 25 of those end because they are high conflict. I don't believe in divorce unless it is causing more harm than good to the children. A high conflict marriage affects the children negatively by causing health issues, problems with everyday life, and a misunderstanding of what a healthy relationship actually is. First, children in a high conflict environment can have all different kinds of health issues. According to FamilyStudies.org, children are at a higher risk for experiencing a variety of health problems like disturbed sleep and difficulty in focusing and succeeding at school. They may show distress in the form of aggression, hostility, antisocial, and non-compliant behavior. They can also internalize it in the form of depression, anxiety, and withdrawal. The children can feel unsafe at their homes or could fear their parents' safety. They could have nightmares from these feelings. The nightmares can be about the parents fighting or even them separating. According to mysenhannah.org, children who grow up witnessing such aggression between their parents do not become accustomed to the fighting, but instead become more sensitive to it. This means that the slightest hint of aggression or hostility sparks a sharp increase in cardiac stress. Even infants can be affected by a high conflict marriage. The infant may have a tendency to cry more than usual, and they can have more feeding problems than before. They can have a sharp change in their sleeping patterns as well. Next, children can have several problems with their everyday lives. According to mysenhannah.org, children may engage in aggressive behavior such as picking fights with other children, using physical force with classmates, even if physical force is not used in the home, throwing objects. They might be picking fights at home with their parents or their siblings. They could be having trouble listening or following instructions. If they're not listening in school, their grades can be affected by this, which will get them in trouble at home. The children can become quieter or even withdrawn themselves from social interaction, like playing with friends or their siblings. They can then become depressed, express excessive worrying, throw more tantrums, or even become obsessively interested in routines. Lastly, children can grow up with a misunderstanding of what a healthy relationship is. When they see how their parents act, they think it's normal and healthy even when it's really not. As they get older, they are going to have trouble communicating in their future relationships, which can cause it to be a high conflict relationship. They might have trouble staying in a relationship or have trouble staying faithful. They might eventually teach their children what an unhealthy relationship is. Marital conflict is a normal and healthy part of a relationship. But when the conflict becomes aggressive or hostile, both adults and children in the family hurt from it. It affects the children negatively by causing health problems with everyday life, and a misunderstanding of what a healthy relationship actually is. These are just some major problems that affect children negatively in a high conflict marriage.